tree project, honoring a suburban giant. This project could also be called Stand Back, I watched a YouTube video, of course I know what I'm doing. I definitely wouldn't follow any of the advice I give, treat it more as a what not to do rather than a this is how you do it. We'll learn more from my mistakes and we'll learn together. So let's get started. This majestic tulip tree stood as a guardian and companion to this little house since it was built in the 1960s, and it probably stood for half a century before that, in the middle of a forest before the land was developed. The tree sheltered our house from storms and provided shade from the sun in the summer. Standing at around 120 feet tall, it was dominant on the skyline and really stood out amongst all of the other trees in the neighborhood. Then, one day, in a freak thunderstorm, above the sound of the wind and the thunder, we heard a loud crack, followed by an eerie silence, and then a loud boom that shook the whole house and plunged everything into darkness. It took a few moments in the pitch black to figure out what had happened, but in the brief flashes of light from the storm, we could make out the outlines of tree branches suddenly growing amongst the living room furniture, just feet from where we were sitting. As dawn approached, it became easy to see what had happened. One of the tree's largest limbs, a 2-foot diameter, 70-foot long branch, had fallen clean across the corner of the house, punching right through the roof and then gutting the interior as the branch rolled sideways off the house and onto the lawn. Stepping back in time a little bit, I'm not a professional tree guy, but I have decades of rock climbing experience, lots of ropes and climbing gear, and with the help of YouTube, I'd spent many weekends over previous years pruning overgrown trees at our local church. In that time, I'd acquired a climbing saw and reconditioned a pair of second-hand spurs from eBay. Ironically, I climbed the tree just 2 weeks earlier, before the branch came down, to do some light pruning of low branches, and when I did that, I discovered that there was decay higher up in the crown. We literally got the permit to take the tree down the week before. So there's a good lesson in procrastination for you. If you procrastinate, trees will definitely fall on your house. So over the next few days, and with more storms forecast, there was an urgent need to quickly reduce the canopy and make it safe. It still saddens me today that in the haste of making the tree safe, most of the wood went to the recycling center or was given away for firewood. Once the tree was safe and we were no longer in any imminent danger, I started thinking about what to do with the rest of the tree. It's really big, heavy, and it's really close to the house. But in that time, the tree and I came up with a crazy scheme that would honor her and preserve her beauty for others to share. I designed and built a sawmill powered by, of all things, a circular saw. Most of the wood was from the reclaimed roof beams and leftover roofing plywood. Procrastination made the project last a long time, but finally the most dangerous sawmill ever conceived would be unleashed upon the world. Time to take the Halloween decorations down and prepare the first log. A modest 6-foot length, roughly 14 inches in diameter. The sawmill worked fine, sort of. It needs more horsepower and some larger axles, but at least the concept was proven. The first batch of 4 planks was dried at the side of our furnace using a large fan to constantly blow air over the lumber. With much twisting and cracking, the first boards were ready to start getting creative with. I quickly learned how to flatten boards, straighten edges, and remove the twists. A very cathartic process. Power tools get the job done quickly, but they're noisy and dusty. They remove you from the joy of working with the wood. I'm taking the time to learn how to work the wood using hand tools. I already have a close relationship with this thing, and the hand tools only strengthen that connection. Plus, the wood shavings keep my fans happy. And therein lies the big question, and the big challenge. I could turn the entire tree trunk, all remaining 60 feet, 40 inches of diameter, into wood shavings that would keep my rabbits happy for generations to come. but I'm challenging myself to use every piece of wood and not waste anything. I want to be as creative as possible and let other families enjoy the beauty of this tree through the things that I make. I need some ideas and inspiration. Some of the larger timbers will be used to build my wife's pergola. She's wanted one of those for a while, so the tree said yes. Smaller timbers will be used for furniture and home decor. I'm thinking live edge tables, rustic coffee tables, maybe some resin river tables. Small pieces of offcuts will be used for art projects. Shavings will be used by the gang. And sawdust, I'm not sure about that yet, but I'm sure there must be an old-timey use for sawdust other than on the saloon floor. So thanks for joining me on this crazy adventure that literally landed right on my doorstep one day, right out of the blue. Give me some ideas for what cool woodworking projects we can use the lumber for, and also definitely give me lots of critique and tips on my woodworking skills. My dad was really good at woodworking, but it turns out it's not genetic, so I've got a lot to learn. So definitely give me some ideas. Let me know what you think. I'll show you each piece of wood as I take it off the tree, and then as I fall over, and then you guys can give me some ideas as to what we can use it for, maybe some tips for how we can make that happen. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be able to tell people I subscribed while Matt still had all 10 fingers. I just want to finish by saying, be kind to the trees. We need them more than they need us. And certainly be kind to each other. Alright, thanks for watching. Join me on this crazy adventure.